Today we're going to be talking about the iPhone X and Grand Theft Auto 5, Rockstar predicting the future, Easter eggs, and a whole lot more. So before we actually jump into this today, let me get you caught up on Rockstar, Grand Theft Auto, and the way they do things in this franchise. So every company you see, every manufacturer you see in Grand Theft Auto is fictional or a parody. It doesn't matter if it's technology companies, soda companies, car manufacturers, whatever. Rockstar likely has a comical parody of a real-life company, and Apple is no exception. Now, in the Grand Theft Auto franchise, Apple is known as Fruit, ironically enough. They're a corporation that designs, develops, and sells consumer electronics, computer software, personal computers, and phones in the HD universe. And in Grand Theft Auto 5, you can actually buy stock on the BossFTW website. So it's kind of cool how they incorporated that in Grand Theft Auto 5. But in the Grand Theft Auto franchise, they are a phone computer manufacturer parodying and based off of Apple. Now, there's even an in-game website that you can visit. It shows off their newest phone, which we'll be talking about in a little bit. But more importantly, it makes fun of Siri, which is actually kind of interesting. Siri is Shelly, and you have this guy talking about, very random questions, and Shelly giving very sarcastic answers. And it's really funny. So if you have the time and if you want to log on to Grand Theft Auto 5, you can stop by this website, and it's really cool. Now, the rest of this website is just saying, you can shop today, visit a store, call us, check out our new phone. And if you've ever been on the Apple website, the aesthetics of this website are also very similar. So Rockstar did their parody nearly perfectly, and they have older model phones, they have newer model phones, but the new model phone in-game, the one that we're going to be talking about today and the one that you'll see on billboards around the map, is called the iFruit 9iX. So Apple has the iPhone, Grand Theft Auto 5 has Fruit, and their phone is called the iFruit. So let's talk about real life for a bit. Earlier this year, Apple introduced the iPhone 8 and then the iPhone X, or the iPhone X, as some people are calling it. Now, a lot of people were curious why Apple decided to skip iPhone 9. You had iPhone 6, 7, 7 Plus, 8, and then they just decided to skip 9. They went straight to 10, and a lot of people were assuming that it was because of the 10-year anniversary of the Apple iPhone, which does make sense, but it is still funny at the end of the day why they skipped 9. Now, what I want to do right now is take a look at Rockstar's iFruit 9iX and compare that to the similarities of the recently released iPhone X, its similarities, how creepy Rockstar is to it being accurate, and then at the end of this video, we'll talk about other instances of them doing the same thing. So number one, the name. Now, I'm not talking about iFruit, but I am talking about 9iX. So if you think about it, it's funny that Apple skipped 9, went from 8 to 10. This one is called 9, which the iPhone X really should have been. And then it has the word X in it, which is just so perfect. It's really funny how Rockstar has that in there. And then, of course, you have the iPhone X, which its logo is iPhone X. Now, looking at the phone itself, even though the shape isn't 100% right, obviously it's a parody, one thing they did get right, and one of the most controversial features of the iPhone X, is the top notch. And they have that on this phone, which is pretty perfect. Now, keep in mind, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013. They would have had not a single clue what Apple was planning 3 or 4 years into the future. So this was just a complete guess. Now, like I said, there are some things that are clearly wrong, like the power button being on the top left and the fact that the phone looks smaller, obviously, than the iPhone X right now. But the similarities are pretty shocking. So although this is certainly an Easter egg of Apple and iPhones in general, it is pretty scary how close they got to not only describing the iPhone X, but getting sort of its look down as well, which again is pretty interesting. Now, as I mentioned, this is not the first time that Rockstar have done something like this where they've eerily predicted the future. So in the Grand Theft Auto 5 universe, you have two characters that are running for governor of San Andreas. On the Republican side, you have former reality TV star and stuntman Jock Cranley. And on the Democratic side, you have Sue Murray. And it's kind of eerily similar how that lined up with the election that happened in the United States last year. On the Republican side, you had Donald Trump, who of course is a real estate tycoon. He's a former reality TV star. He represented the Republican side, ended up becoming president. And then we saw the first female candidate on the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton, actually face him off. Now, she ended up losing, but it's eerily similar. Not only the stances they have in Grand Theft Auto 5 and comparing them to real life, but their looks and their backstory and the way that they came to, being in a position to run for governor, I guess if we would compare that to real life, running for president. And like I said, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013, 3 years before the election, and it was in development even longer than that, before we even knew the candidates. So that's just another example right there of how creepy this is, of Rockstar almost getting this right 100% on the head as far as the iPhone 10 being in Grand Theft Auto 5. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments section down below. Have you seen any other references like this in Grand Theft Auto 5 from Rockstar that have either eerily predicted the future or are pretty creepy Easter eggs to real life events? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments section down below. If you did go and enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. We relate daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.